What did I tell you lot about Casemiro, the best CDM in the world? Who's Busquets? I don't care about him. Casemiro, unbelievable. Manchester United, 1-1. Chelsea, Stamford Bridge. Let's go.
Between the lines.
Yes, my Between the Liners, what a performance at Stamford Bridge. Everyone knows how bad of a record we have. In 30 Premier League games at the Bridge, we've only won 6 games. Casemiro's come through with an unbelievable header in the 93rd minute after Scott McTominay's come on for 4 minutes and given away a penalty. Let's get into the game. This is my match reaction. We've drawn 1-1 to Chelsea. And to be honest, with 10 minutes to go, I thought the game was going to finish 0-0. I made a few notes on the game and I was preparing to talk about a 0-0 and I was pretty content, to be honest. Let's go into the starting lineup first. Eriksen came through instead of Fred, and based on how Eriksen played this game for the 80, 70 minutes that he was on, it was vindicated. Once again, like he has done in the United shirt since he's played for us, ooze quality, ooze class on the ball, makes a big difference in terms of linking our play from the back or from the midfield to our attack. Top performance from Eriksen on the ball while he was playing. Let's take it into the positives of the game because I've got quite a few, to be honest. Obviously, we'll talk about the goal in a bit. I'm going to start off from the back and work my way to the front. De Gea and Ten Hag, whatever you guys have been doing on the training pitch, it's working. For the first time in a long time, not only am I seeing De Gea coming off his line, not only am I seeing De Gea trying to pass it out at the back, his decision making has been excellent. Or not excellent, but it's been a lot better compared to the past. And that goes for a lot of the team as well, actually. A lot of our decision making has been improved. And if you go back to one of my videos, I think it was only 3-4 weeks ago, maybe before the last international break for the Nations League or whatever it is, I questioned our decision making from a lot of our players, and a big part of that was Bruno. Bruno's decision making today was a lot better. And let's take it back to defence. Dalot, I don't know what's gone into him, but his defensive work rate and defensive desire, I haven't seen this in him for a long time, and he's just impressing me immensely. I didn't realise that he was capable of putting in shifts and performances and desire just like this. Anytime the ball comes near to him, you can see him sliding in. It's almost like Martinez's desire has become infectious. Dalot, fantastic game today in my opinion. Wasn't at fault for the goal at all. We'll get to the negatives later. Varane, Martinez, I'm running out of words to say for these guys. The composure and the ability to relax the rest of the team with having them at the back goes without saying anymore. And Varane, I want to say, I questioned him quite a lot last season and I weren't sure if he was up to scratch anymore. He's proven me wrong and I'm very happy about it. Every single header in that first half, he was unbelievable, winning every single header. Aubameyang didn't come close to him. I think Aubameyang only had one chance to get in behind in the first half. Didn't see the defence tested throughout most of the game. Even in the second half where we conceded a lot of possession, I felt really comfortable at the back. I didn't really see Chelsea threatening us at all. I don't remember De Gea making a save in the whole game. They only had that one header that Chalobah hit the bar from a corner. Other than that, I didn't see Chelsea affect us at all. Sterling has now gone 24 games without scoring against us. I heard he was actually a United fan as a kid. And I think clearly something's in his head because he's so dead every time he plays against us. Anyway, forget Sterling. Martinez, unbelievable again. Desire to win the ball ahead of his man. His reading of the game is absolutely top class. Won the ball ahead of the striker, won the ball ahead of Aubameyang. Just so quick to it straight away. Doesn't give a striker a second to breathe. Doesn't give a midfielder or winger a second to breathe. In there, dives in, 2-footed, 1-footed, doesn't matter. He's taking that ball or the man, and I love him for it. Luke Shaw, you know what? A special shout out to Luke Shaw, man. Like the way he's performing right now, we haven't seen him perform since that first Ollie season, or was it the second Ollie season at least, or even when he was playing in the Euros. Intensity, immense. Attacking work rate, immense. Quality on the ball, immense. Keeping the ball, immense. And I think, was it Luke Shaw that got the assist for the Casemiro goal as well? A top quality ball in the box. You know what? Our final third was lacking, which I'll get into later, but thank you in the decisive moment. Luke Shaw's come through clutch, and it's just weird how he only seems to perform when he's got a bit of pressure, fresh pressure coming from another player. But thank you, Luke Shaw. I thought your career at United was done this season, to be honest, but you're turning it around. You've got a sustained run in the team now, and you deserve it. Well done, Luke Shaw. Proving a lot of us wrong. Well done. Good defensive work. Good attacking work today. Got the assists as well. Let's move on to midfield, and I'm going to start with the guy that scored the winner, Casemiro. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments, yeah? But before he even scored, I was going to give either him or Dalot man in the match. And then obviously we conceded as well, so then it kind of changed things. But before we conceded, I was going to say Dalot or Casemiro man in the match. Casemiro, my God, how have we signed this player? Madrid, I don't know. All right, Madrid are doing well, obviously, in Spain, yeah? And they've got some good replacements, fair enough. But to let a player of this caliber go, so I don't know, man. Are Madrid's CDMs or defensive midfielders better than this guy? I highly doubt it. This guy is undeniably the best CDM in the world, and he's starting to prove it now. 2-3 games in a row. A sensational performance today. Wasn't fazed about playing against Chelsea. Wasn't fazed by Stamford Bridge crowd. And to be honest, a lot of the way our team played in the first 35-40 minutes, Stamford Bridge was quiet. You know, you usually hear them saying, Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea. That's all they say at Stamford Bridge. I didn't hear none of that. Shout out to the away fans as well. I heard them throughout the whole game. I don't know why they keep singing that Elanga song so loudly and proudly. It is a good song, but it's Elanga. He hasn't scored in a while. But anyway, let's keep it positive. Casemiro, what can I even say about it? Intensity, reading of the ball, winning headers. His forward play is actually a lot better than I actually anticipated as well. And that header he scored was something that we've seen in the last few games. He's making a few late runs and winning headers, trying to get through, trying to score a few goals as well. Let's talk about the header. I actually thought it was Scott McTominay making up for the penalty. I thought it was a McTominay goal. I was about to start going ham in the group chats. Anyway, Casemiro's goal. That header, as he's leaning back and managed to plant it into the far post, going in off the post into the goal. Sensational header. And the desire to be there. That reminds me, obviously, forget Liverpool, but that reminds me of Gerrard's goal in the Champions League final against Milan. Obviously, not the same heights. This game, just a Premier League game, fighting for top 4 or whatever. But that header, the desire and the ability and just the quality of the goal and just knowing that your team needs you in that moment and he's come through clutch. And why was he even there? Where was our other attacking players like Anthony or Bruno? It's Casemiro's desire. Give him the armband right now. Bruno, you're playing fine. Let's talk about another positive, actually. Bruno, slowly starting to play himself into form. I think today was a much better performance in terms of controlling the ball. No, he's not forcing it as much anymore. And I think he created, I don't know the stats, but from what I saw with my own eyes, created 2 clear chances in that first half. Rashford should have scored. Anthony should have scored. Bruno, I think he's slowly getting back to his best, and I'm glad to see it. Had a few long-range shots from outside the box as well. Tested Kepa a little, but great performance. Eriksen, as I've mentioned already, I thought he played very well on the ball. So classy. It's just effortless to Eriksen. Anthony, I thought played very well on the ball. Didn't give it away. Worked hard as well. Very positive from Anthony. Rashford and Sancho, I'm going to get into the negatives and things to improve on, to be honest. Other than that, any more positives on the game? Look, first half, I think we should have buried them, to be honest, especially with the Rashford and the Anthony chance. Moving on a little to looking at the second half, I didn't really think that we did that greatly in the second half. Chelsea started controlling the ball. One more positive thing I wanted to talk about as well. One thing I liked about the team today was they were zipping it into each other with so much confidence, so much composure, and it just shows that we're coming closer to being a more controlling team. Especially that first half, we absolutely dominated Chelsea, in my opinion. Let me know what you thought in the comments, but that's how I saw it. And the way they were passing it into each other, it started off the sequences most likely De Gea to Martinez, Shaw to Martinez, into Eriksen, into Casemiro, into Anthony, back inside to Bruno. And I'm liking the styles And I'm liking linking up, especially going from defence to midfield to attack. It's slowly getting there. Really, since Kovacic came on in the 35th minute, I feel like Chelsea got a lot more control of the ball. And they did start, I think Kovacic's intensity and winning the ball and releasing it quicker to their forwards kind of affected us a little. Which brings us, let's take it on to the negatives, or at least things that we need to improve on. Jadon Sancho, where are you, my brother? Like, it's just not enough. And the fact that Ten Hag's having to bring you off in the 50th minute in the second half, 5 minutes into a half, and it's clear to everyone to see that you had to come off. And I was actually shocked. I thought Fred was going to come on for maybe Eriksen, because Eriksen was ill the week before. So it was a shock to me to see Sancho come off. And it just shows that even Ten Hag must be getting frustrated with him. And he brought him off straight after Sancho had just put the ball out. He's trying to do a simple pass to Shaw on the overlap, and it's gone out for a goal kick. And a lot of his passes just weren't great at all, to be honest. It's just, what is he bringing to the team right now? His creativity isn't really there. His inspiration isn't really there. The most I've seen him do in the last 2 games, which is a bit more positive, he's ran forward a little more than he has done. And also his passes inside have been a bit quicker and a bit more direct compared to his previous games. So yeah, another negative would be, it's just our passes in the final third are lacking, especially once we're getting down to the byline now, which we weren't doing a few weeks ago. So it's a good positive. Signs of progress in the right direction. But once we're getting into the final third, our passes, it's like we're getting confused whether to cut it back, whether to whip it in the air, or whether to just drill it across the box. It's like we don't know what to do yet. And I think part of that is down to our lack of a striking option, because Marcus isn't really the best striker. Obviously, we've got no Ronaldo. It's just like we don't know what to do or who to look for in the box. And I think that's one thing that's going to harm us. And you could potentially say it did harm us today, because based on that first half, we probably could have got a win in this game. And in the second half, Chelsea didn't even threaten us, to be honest. Like I said earlier, I didn't see Dave make a save in the whole game. Another negative, which brings me on to Chelsea's best chance of the game, which was Chalobah's header against the bar. In that game, it was Eriksen marking Chalobah, and then I think it was Fred marking Chalobah. I'm just still not sure about what's going on in our set pieces, defensively and attacking wise, to be honest. Defensively, this zonal marking, I'm not feeling at all. Please, can we put the tallest players against the tallest players on the opposition team? It's just not making sense to me. Say like we conceded to Chalobah, it would have been completely unjust or undeserved based on the way the whole game went. Attacking wise, and in terms of set pieces, our set pieces are poor more often than not as well. And I don't really see what plans we have in set pieces. Other teams are quite creative with it, especially like teams like Brighton. Why are we not doing the same thing? We should be coming up with different types of tactics when it comes to set pieces, different kinds of ways to score. We're just too obvious right now, just like hit and hope into the box. And no one's even really challenging. And our team's quite tall. McTominay, Varane, Casemiro, who else? Rashford's quite tall as well. We should be capable of getting a lot more goals from set pieces, and it's not coming in at the moment. And we need to take advantage of that. As you can see, we're not creating enough chances as it is in most games. So we need to work on capitalising on punishing teams from set pieces as well as in open play. Look, another negative would be the Varane injury. And he looked like he was in tears. He was hiding his face. I don't think he wanted to be seen by everyone crying on the pitch. And I was quite surprised, actually. I guess that means he knew immediately that it was serious enough for him to be missing the World Cup, I assume. The way he started balling out. So, yeah, look, big negative. We're going to miss him, especially the way him and Martinez have been playing recently, especially the way everyone seems to relax when Varane's in the team. Look, when Lindelof came on, he didn't look too bad, didn't look too troubled, to be honest. And Lindelof has got quite a few passes in his locker. It's just, is he defensively? He's obviously not as defensively aware, as defensively good as Varane is. So, and we got to look forward to Maguire possibly coming back into the team now. Big question marks in defence at the moment. I just hope that Varane's injury doesn't harm momentum, and I hope he makes the World Cup, because he looked in bits. Other than that, another negative would have to be McTominay coming on for 4 minutes. And I don't know, it just seemed a bit negative from Ten Hag. I was quite surprised, and I haven't really seen him do that yet. Usually you'd think he's a bit more smart. But in a way, look, I can't say it was negative from Ten Hag because he obviously knows better than I do, and we've ended up with a point at least. Obviously, would have liked to win, but I get it. I kind of get it. 5 minutes left, 10 minutes left in the game. I do understand what he was trying to do. Maybe saving Rashford and Eriksen because they've both just kind of come back from injury and illness. So I do get it. But just bringing on McTominay, and then we went to Fred, McTominay, Casemiro midfield. I think Gary Neville mentioned in commentary, it's almost like you're both inviting pressure into each other. Just like Chelsea went a bit defensive, we did as well. So if someone does punish you, it's almost like you've set yourself up. So I'm not sure if we should have done that. Especially this Chelsea team, I felt like we were capable of attacking them from the very first minute. They didn't look great. Even looking at their lineup, it's not one of the best Chelsea teams we've faced in a long time. So I don't know, just obviously Ten Hag knows best, but in the future, maybe in a 0-0 situation, why not go for it? We're Manchester United. We might as well go for the kill. Why are we playing 3 CDMs or 3 defensively minded midfielders? And I guess you could say it worked. Casemiro got a goal. Scott McTominay was right behind him or in front of him when Casemiro scored. So I can't criticise Ten Hag too much. But McTominay, look, I said that the positives of the game was our game management and our decision making. And the one mistake we made in the whole game, we got punished. Scott McTominay, what are you doing? Like, it was just, you can put your hand on someone in a box, especially on a corner, yeah, but it was just so obvious. And you got both hands around it, both arms around him. And then it was just too obvious that Broha was going to win the ball ahead of McTominay. And I don't know, at least shove your shoulders into him or something. Don't make it so obvious by grabbing both your arms around him. It's the first poor decision the team made. And I just don't know. I think, did he come off the cold and wasn't used to the pace of the game, the hype of the game? He just kind of let us down in that moment. It wasn't great viewing, to be honest. And obviously, he's probably going to receive a lot of criticism from fans, but I don't want to be too harsh on him. At least we've got to come back thanks to Casemiro. Look, overall, looking at the game, I'm not going to be too negative because, in my opinion, for at least 70, 80 minutes of that game, we were the better side, in my opinion. And although the second half was pretty level, Chelsea didn't really harm us at all. The chances we created in the first chance, if we bury them, it could have been a completely different game. I'm very happy with the team's performance, very happy with the team's progress. Ten Hag's ideologies seem to be coming through. I'm glad that the players are implementing it to the best of their capabilities, especially the way they're whipping it into each other in the first half. Very proud of them. Look, Stamford Bridge, we don't have a great record at all. Even when Fergie was here, we've got a 20% win rate in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge in 30 years, which isn't great. We could have come away from this game and won this game. But anyway, it's a 1-1 draw. Casemiro with an unbelievable header. Looking forward to the games coming up. We've got Sheriff in the Europa League on Thursday. I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of goals. I'm supposedly meant to be going to that. I don't know if I can be bothered. I'm sick and tired of driving up to Manny and seeing like 1 goal and 0-0 and that. So we'll see how I feel about that. But hopefully that should be a win. Next game in the Premier League, I believe, is West Ham away. And well, I think they're slowly starting to pick up form, West Ham. So we'll be interested to see how that goes. But I'm pretty sure the way we're playing in these last 2 games, I'm confident we can get a result. As long as we can keep up this intensity, not only in the big games against the big teams, even against the lesser teams. No disrespect to West Ham and my mate Alex. But I'm hoping we can keep up the intensity, and we should go to every single game now with this intensity, the way we have done against Spurs, against Chelsea. I want to see us dominating the ball, controlling the game more often than not, just like we have done in the last 2 games. Look, I'm going to wrap up the video there. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the game. Let me know who you thought man of the match is. I'm going to have to give it to Casemiro. Unbelievable game. Boston midfield. Looks like one of the signings of the season, if not one of the best signings in Premier League history. Don't get me gassed. And obviously Haaland's come this season, so that's why he might not win it this season. Casemiro, but overall in Premier League history, unbelievable signing. 60 million, I do not care. 30 years old, I do not care. Desire, give him the captaincy right now, I do not care. A fantastic goal, a top header, an elite midfielder, great performance for Manchester United. Subscribe to the channel, share the video, like the video, please. It helps a lot. Thanks for watching. Watch out for the videos coming out this week. We've got a Cristiano Ronaldo player power video coming out tomorrow, 10 a.m. on a Sunday. Also on a Wednesday, we've got video coming out on the top 6 race, so watch out for that. Both of them were very fun to be a part of. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, all that nonsense. See you in the next one. Peace out.
Between the lines.